a young man asked me what one can do to support the reactionary movement anywhere in the world. And this is a difficult question because a lot of the practical stuff that we would like to do will very quickly land you in jail or worse. And I believe it starts with cultivating a new kind of mentality. The sort of mentality that doesn't allow yourself to put your life in someone else's hands, meaning you stay independent. In any situation, you take charge, or you make sure that whatever happens around you doesn't affect you too much. You stand on solid ground, psychologically speaking, spiritually speaking. You draw from deeper wells. Since I personally don't believe in a political solution anymore, I don't think you can vote your way out of problems that we never voted ourselves into. Therefore, the choices we are left with involve waging a sort of guerrilla war against the state in order to force the state and the other authorities to start listening to us. And this we cannot achieve through a frontal attack. If we were to use force or violence in the streets or against the state itself, again, the military will be sent in, the drones will be sent in, your bank accounts will be frozen. We can't win that way, but we can win, I believe, by applying a certain sort of pressure onto society whereby we become a cost. Meaning we start protesting in a way that it requires a large police force to offer protection between us and Antifa, for example. We're going to start draining the financial coffers of smaller towns and then bigger cities through initially non-violent action that is designed to preoccupy the state with us, with what we are doing, and to bleed the state dry in any legal way possible, and at an increasing scale to the point where eventually people higher up are going to have to start listening to us to take our needs and desires seriously. Okay, but then in terms of practical matters, what exactly are we going to do? Now, this is something I find very difficult, largely because everything I would think of would be illegal and would get me jailed or get someone else jailed. And that's not what I am trying to achieve. I'm not trying to get us all imprisoned. But perhaps we will approach it in this manner as though our movement, the reactionary movement, or the reaction as I call it, is a new kind of spiritual or religious movement. And we are simply, one by one, going to convert people to our cause. So that will require some preaching. And I would therefore start with telling you and telling myself to start preaching more. Start preaching the gospel of the reactionary movement, so to speak, right? Try joining sports clubs because it's important that you stay physically fit and active. I believe also that active people will win power, whereas passive people will not. So we've got to become more active so we can join regular sports clubs and then start talking to the people there and start converting people to our cause, just the way you would spread a religion, meaning we're going to write pamphlets. We're going to design our own propaganda, so to speak, our memes and so on, that we will spread through, by all means necessary, online, social media, and in the real world, flyers and posters and so on, and then start organizing local events, primarily speaker events, where hopefully a very inspiring motivational speaker can get a message across, a sort of leader type who is able to bring people's emotions to the surface, the unspoken pains that we were not allowed to discuss, for example, due to the political correct system. Bring that to the surface and allow people to feel the pain and the sadness over what has happened to us, what has been done to us, the loss of our future, the loss of our society, the destruction of our nations, the erasure of our people, and then being stomped on and called racist for wanting to live.